Welcome to Spectrum Days, the podcast where we ruin our childhood memories of games we used to play with me, Chris, and my cousin Film.
Cousin Film? Did you say film or Phil? We're certainly going to ruin our childhoods this time, the game we're looking at today. Good Lord. Do you even remember this one, Chris?
Yeah, this one's great. This one's definitely probably one of the best ever.
I don't remember it. Really
just look at the cover and it'll bring all the memories flooding back.
Yeah, well, we've already done that, and both me and producer John, who's skulking around in the background there, suddenly went, oh yeah, that's that one where you fall off a paragliding thing. And like, no, that actually turns out that's Saboteur 2. So that's the one that I had. I've looked at the cassettes. Those of you who are watching our YouTube video, I'll put those two on the screen. So you'll see what I mean.
So what game are we covering today?
Everyone's looked at the title. They know what. They don't even need to say it.
That's true.
What's the point?
Well, what is the point of anything, really?
This is a bit of a reverse of Fortunes as opposed to our normal episodes that we do, because this is one that you reckon you remember. Usually you is going, oh God, I bet it's hard. I bet there's no tutorial. Ooh, I don't know what the keys are. Ooh.
I can remember it as soon as I see the cover, the front cover. I can remember a sensation, or I can remember a smell. There's literally like, you can sort of see the cover. It takes me back into like a moment, and I could sort of like, there's something about just even the box, because I can remember it wasn't an ordinary cassette box. It wasn't like a cassette box you'd get with a C60, C90 tape. It was a black, more rigid kind of bendy box. I don't know how to explain it, but have a look it up. I'm sure if you owned Saboteur back in 1985, you also remember that it was a different kind of cassette box. It's probably got a special name.
Description's bringing it all back for you at home.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. It's taking them all back to those bedrooms.
The smell. You remember the smell of Saboteur. It's not a deodorant, is it?
I think
like
it's
high karate.
How about a movie tonight, huh?
Wow, what's that aftershave you're wearing?
You high karate aftershave is so powerful, it drives women right out of their minds. That's why we have to put instructions on self-defense in every package. High karate, the brisk splash-on aftershave that smooths and soothes and cools. High karate, aftershave, cologne, and gift sets. High karate, be careful how you use it.
The Saboteur.
Oh, the lady loves Saboteur.
That's going to be great watching the video of you doing that. Like a Calvin Klein ad. Get your abs out. Okay, well, anyway, should we...
you tell us all about it, Chris. I shall sit back now and listen to my cousin Christopher explain to you all about
all the young people. You always do this bit.
No, this is your turn. Remember it. You like it. You can remember how it smelt when you opened the massive box that wasn't plastic.
It wasn't massive. It wasn't massive, and it wasn't cardboard. You thought it was
that's
cardboard.
What you were saying earlier on before we came on air. Oh, it was ever such a big box. Cardboard it was. Ooh, smelt like Monopoly. That's what you said.
It's a ninja game.
And we'll see you after the break. Come on, what do you do? What did you do?
We just got it right there.
Who made it? Who made Saboteur?
All right, okay. So, my intensive, in-depth research. I remember it was from Durrel software. So now, how do you pronounce Durrel?
I think you find it's Durrel.
Durrel. I think it's Durrel.
Well, I know you do because you're middle class.
Durrel software. We could phone them up.
Maybe it's Welsh, in which case it'd be Durrel.
They're still in existence, Durrel software. We could phone them up and ask them how they pronounce it. Or just phone them up Wait for someone to answer. It's Durrel Software or Durrel Software.
Or they then say, oh, I thought it was Durrell. Are you sure it's Durrell?
We can phone them up and ask them for a copy. See what
I'm going to do that. Those of you who are listening now and watching the video, I will actually do that. I'm going to phone them up and see what they say.
Well, because the funny thing is, Wikipedia at least says that the company is still in existence, but they don't make games anymore. They make
adult movies.
No, they make accounting software.
Almost the same.
Well, actually, we'd be okay phoning them up because they'd understand our accent because they're from Taunton, Somerset.
Hey.
We'll fit in with them.
I bet they're near the cider factory.
Yeah. So Durrell was formerly a successful video games developer.
Was it?
Yeah.
Arcade.
So, but yeah, no, look at you.
He's translating it for our non-West Country residents.
Hello there, William Shatner here. You probably remember me from Star Trek Wars and TJ Hookers. I've got a holiday home in Taunton. Lovely place Taunton is. Yeah, a nice bit of cider. In fact, it's just near the Taunton Cider Company, although it's not called that anymore. I think it's owned by Gamers or something now. Anyway, they make that Blackthorn. Probably remember that. Good stuff. Used to have in the 80s and 90s. Ah, the 80s. The only other famous thing from Taunton is Jenny Agutter. Oh, remember her, don't we? Anyway, best get on. See you soon.
Oh, it was Spanish last night in West Country this week.
Yeah. So anyway, so basically, it's a ninja game.
Right, ninja.
Side scrolling.
Scrolling.
What I think you then go to. If I remember rightly, you don't arrive in Saboteur 1. You arrive by boat, like you're going infiltrating.
Dingy. Yeah,
a little dingy, a little dinghy. A little dinghy, Avon Rubber, made at the Avon Rubber factory. Was it a West Country ninja again?
Yeah, that's why he instead of shurikens, he throws cheese, lumps of cheese.
We've covered a ninja game before, haven't we?
Shinobi.
Yeah.
You loved that one. That's your favourite.
Yeah, I don't think there are any logs in Saboteur. I don't think there's any, there couldn't have been anything like sudden death in Saboteur.
I don't know why you're so happy about this, that somehow this is going to be an easy game. I think
not easy.
You haven't read the review that I've seen from your Sinclair. I think it's on page 76, like the first issue or something. Anyway, the game itself comprises 118 different screens, which all go to make up the 4-level warehouse. There's the warehouse itself, a computer complex, and 2 layers of labyrinth-like, note that word labyrinth-like sewers. The latter areas have a tendency to look the same, which can be a great problem for those, Chris, who have an aversion, Chris, to making maps of the best route to safety, Chris.
That's not the game I played. That's not the game I remember.
All the weapons a self-respecting ninja could want can be found by stumbling across them on your adventures, but you can only hold one weapon at a time, and once you've used it, you'll have to search around for another. I can't wait.
Is a brick a weapon? I think I remember
in the
brick.
Trained ninja's hands, yes.
Well, especially a West Country ninja.
Big brick. Oh,
big bricks. Got more bricks in the West Country than shurikens.
I am a West Country ninja teacher, and I have been teaching the art of ninjaing for quite some time now. Mostly bricks we're working on today with the students. They'll brick throwing. It's going quite well. Off you go, Bert. I'll catch it. Don't you worry. Oh! Right in the plums. They'll be no good for making cider now. Oh.
I mean, now you mention it, I can't remember getting very far, but it was like, I guess I was 11 playing this. You must have been 10 or so.
Oof,
and it must have been. I think
John
it was very.
Still pooing his pants.
If you look at probably. if you look at it now, I mean, it's pretty amazing. I mean, from the screenshots I've seen for a Spectrum game, it looks like, huge, as you just said, 180 screens or something, but it looks pretty good. I can remember the flying kick. I can remember a flying kick. I'm pretty sure I can remember a brick, and I can't remember much else.
We're really selling this one, aren't we?
Yeah. So it was developed by Clive Townsend, and then published by Durrel Software. No. So I've been kind of looking around. So it looked like there was a version for Steam, but now you can download it from Clive's own website
and on Switch.
And on the Switch, and now there is a iOS version as well.
Yeah, and Android version. Yeah.
I'd rather play it on Steam, so I could use my clickety-clack keyboard rather than the touchscreen, because it'd probably be pretty difficult on the touchscreen. But he's also, I think the version that seems to be available it's like a deluxe version, right, with new bits and pieces,
new levels,
redos,
new levels, and and he's just written a book, hadn't he? Released a book about writing the game.
So, and it came out on all the typical platforms of the time, right? The Commodore 64, Amstrad. I seem to see it was out on the Atari ST, but does it not mention the Amiga? Did it not come out on the Commodore Amiga?
Well, the Amiga was a rubbish computer. Why would it come out on that?
It was the best.
No, I think the new version, he's done some of the new one that he's released. He's done in A500 graphics, I think. So you might get to sort of experience what it would have been like on the Amiga. So no, I don't think it actually did come out on the Amiga.
Right.
So you'll have to buy this one, everybody listening.
Did you mentioned the reviews, but did you mention the scores? What kind of scores did it get?
Oh, really good. Yeah, it got like 90 odd in like Crash and things like that.
Yeah, Sinclair User Magazine, 9 out of 10, superbly animated. Excellent sound effects. Excellent sound effects on the Spectrum.
Well, you try and make a brick sound like a brick on the ZX Spectrum.
They also commented about the game's high level of challenge.
Yes, challenge. Note that word, challenge, Chris.
One of the best arcade adventures around.
Anyone who is currently watching our YouTube video, I do apologise for what I'm fairly sure is going to be pretty terrible playing experience and watching experience, seeing me and hopefully Chris, if he sends me some of his footage of us actually playing it. I'm going to be dying a lot. I know that. I remember that much.
I expect it's much better than Shinobi, though, right?
Yes, Chris, much better than Shinobi.
Does it have a shin kick?
I think you just said it's got a flying kick and bricks.
It's got a flying kick. Yeah,
you don't need a shin kick if you've got bricks.
Is there a sword?
I don't know. I said at the beginning, I don't remember this game.
But what you did remember was the second one, right?
Yeah, because that's the one I owned. So as soon as I saw, like you were talking about the boxes, as soon as I saw the cover of the second one, I was like, oh, that's the one I had, which is the girl, I think, on a bike on the front cover.
Yeah.
That's the one I remember. Both me and John both said the same thing. That's the one that we sort of remembered.
Well, that's it. It's a ninja game.
Yeah, ninja game. So if you'd like to join in now as we take a pause and have a go at playing this game that we haven't played for whatever years it is, from 1985. How many years is that? A lot? 30 or something? I don't know. If you want to play along, please do. I'll put a link below to all the places that you can buy the game, legally buy the game. I would not in any way like to encourage anyone to do other than buy the game legitimately, because the man who made it is still alive, which is quite rare for the games that we've been reviewing. So he might be listening to this. He might be listening to this. So we'd like people to buy the game, and then maybe he'll appear on the podcast with us and explain to Chris how to play the game. So for you, it'll be just a few seconds while we're off playing the game. But for me and Chris and John, we're going to go off for a few days now and play it, and then come back, and you can you can commiserate with us as we tell you how we've only got past level 3 or something, probably.
Congratulations on reaching the middle of the podcast. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, congratulations on reaching the middle of the video. Whilst Chris and John and Phil are off playing today's game, you can also do the same by using the link below if you're watching us on our YouTube channel. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter, and you can friend us on Facebook by simply looking up Spectrum Days. Don't forget to give us 5 stars if you are listening to us on the podcast, or give us a thumbs up if you're here on YouTube. And also comment below on what game you'd like to see next. And as if by magic, the lads are back to give you their opinion on today's game.
And welcome back.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of Spectrum Days, games that we played. And we certainly did play this one, didn't we, Chris? Because this is a bit of an announcement to make, isn't there, really? Not your marriage or anything, but...
I completed it.
Yeah, but did you?
There was a screen that said something on the lines of mission completed as I escaped in a helicopter.
Mm-hmm. And did you find the bomb, place the bomb, and get the disc, and then find the helicopter, and then leave?
Well, I may have done all those things. I might have been in some sort of gaming-induced trance and may not have noticed doing any of that as I was in flow, a state of flow, where the level of difficulty crosses with my ability and knowledge, and I just went into a flow state. Didn't notice that I'd achieved all those objectives, and then only really woke up from it when I was in a helicopter escaping.
Wow.
It is a stealth game, though.
It's lots of stealth. I noticed that every time I flipped the screen and immediately appeared in front of a man, a dog, and a laser cannon, that I thought, I'll use the stealth mode here. I shall use the tiptoe button, which I think you press by pressing D, and tiptoed past the guards and the lasers and the dogs. So, I hugged the wall and hid behind a crate. A lot of stealth. It's full of stealth. All those stealth options that you've got. Why are people calling this a stealth game?
Well, because they've got nice nostalgic memories, and I did ask on Twitter, and we're really grateful that people gave us their opinions, and they remembered that it was stealthy.
We got replies on Twitter.
But if they were to play it today, they might have a different opinion on how stealthy it is.
It ain't.
It's not stealthy,
is it?
No, because you turn on it flips to the next screen as you walk on. There's immediately a dog and a security guard soldier. There is no stealth really. No, and even if the cameras spot you, well, maybe did you play on extremely difficult level 10?
Yes, and people, when they watch the footage, will see that that's what comes up on the screen, and that's not a poorly photoshopped version of the screen where you choose a difficulty. That is me actually playing it on level 10.
Maybe there's a lot of stealth on level 10, and we'll have to take all this back. Maybe I was accidentally playing on level 1.
How can it be more stealthy when level 10 just adds like more villains?
Yeah.
I mean, how?
So and then the brick and the rock. There's a little like gold rock. Is that a little bit of gold that he finds every so often and just picks up and throws at people? There's a bit of rubble.
I hardly use the throw-in items, and people watching the YouTube channel are watching my brilliant run from the start of the game to the finish, completing all the tasks, not just running like a big girl for the helicopter within 3 minutes. We'll see that that is a bit, isn't it? Sorry, not a small girl, like a small girl running.
That's it. There is a female protagonist in the second game.
That is true.
A very strong female protagonist.
Yes. Like somebody who's a bit scared of things. There you are.
Yeah.
Is that better?
It was called a speed run.
Yeah, speed run, where you avoid
Speedrunners.
all the things that you do in the game and just escape like a very scared person who doesn't like dogs. You're allergic to dogs.
You
Is that how
can't even
manage to
kick.
do
You can't even kick those dogs. I mean, they're right good.
What? You want
They're-
to kick the dogs? That's
Yeah.
cruel.
They're a very good height for a good shin kick, which would be a head kick for a dog. Excellent position, and you can't even kick them or punch them or anything. You can only kill them with a projectile.
You sort of duck and throw, don't you?
Yeah, a brick or a gold nugget.
That famous ninja throwing item, the gold nugget.
Yeah.
You throw it at one of their pressure points, don't you? And it sort of kills them. Bang!
But I mean, it must have been an amazing game at the time. I mean, yes, it did have huge sprites. It must have been huge. I mean, look at the other games we played back on the Spectrum recently. They're all kind of one screeners, there's not much terrain or whatever. But this was actually, as we said in the beginning, it was how many screens? Over 100 or something.
118, I think.
Yeah, so it must have been an amazing thing. I mean, we'd never played. Was this the first Ninja game on the Spectrum? There was Last Ninja on the Commodore 64. I can remember playing that. But yeah, so this is definitely before Revenge of the Shinobi and all those kind of ones. The people, I mean, they must have obviously, copied this. They must have been influenced by this, I would say. Yeah, so it must have been amazing at the time. And yeah, now I've just got a few questions, but yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. It's, I think, a bit like we've mentioned with other games, and we were talking about it just prior to recording, talking about it with producer John and things. And to quote him, he said, it really does, yes, it does depend where you're coming from. If you're looking at it from the 1985 eyes of our childhood, then yes, it is an amazing game. It is big sprites, as you said. It is quite fast. It's not slow sprites moving around like in, I don't know, Dunderack, which is another game that had similar sort of large sprites. This is quite a fast-paced game. There's a lot of action in it. Yes, it is a bit fiddly by today's standards of trying to get up and down the ladders, and there's a few quality of life things that I would have preferred it to have. Whether we'd have thought about that back then, probably not. I'd have said it for back then. It was probably a perfect game. There's trying to remember what it was like when you were 9 or whatever. It'd be hard to fault it, really. I did complete it, as I say, on the very easy level. But that was with the help, as I say, of a map. I think to be able to do this, if you went out and bought it straight away, and that's probably in the magazines, there's no doubt probably a map came out the following month or something. Yeah. I think you'd have to play it quite a lot to find where those items are and to find the route back to place the bomb and get then all the way back up to the top within the time limit, because once you set the bomb, another time limit goes. And then to get to the helicopter and actually get out. And I think as I managed it on the very easy with help of a map, I was like, blimey, I wonder what it's like on the other levels. So if, again, back then when you were 8, 9, it was the only game you had, or that was the only game you were going to get for the next several months, you probably would spend the time and go, right, well, I'll do level 2 now, I'll do level 3 all the way up. And, you would perhaps work your way through. Now, me speaking here now, I can't be bothered to try it on the harder levels. I haven't got time, and it doesn't attract me enough to want to do it on the harder levels. Yeah, it just doesn't.
Yeah, but there's Saboteur SIO, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, well, we never know how to pronounce anything. No. But especially a game called Saboteur SIO, which seems to be coming out on the Epic store. I think it looked like it was going to be out on Steam, but now it's not. But the video I've seen of that looks quite cool could be quite fun. A kind of retro-looking, modern retro-looking game.
Okay.
So I've got that soft spot for Broforce. That kind of is that kind of like pixelated like reimagining, let's say, of Saboteur. So that looks really, really fun. But it's not out yet. It's coming out soon. I did buy it on iOS, but you cannot connect a Bluetooth joypad, and playing with the touchscreen is just, for me at least, it makes it almost impossible to play.
Really?
If I got the Bluetooth joypad out and tried to connected it, but there's no option in the game, so it just doesn't. Well, that I could see, I couldn't get it working. And I've seen that Clive Townsend, the developer, he's also got a book out. I don't know if we mentioned that in the first part, but that looks really cool as well to look at. It's a shame it's not on Steam already. I would have preferred to have bought it there. I might check out Saboteur Scio when that's out. I agree with you. At the time, must have been an amazing achievement. Right now, it's still nostalgic playing it, like looking at it and trying to think back to when we first played it, and it's good. I think the only mystery that remains is how to pronounce Durrel.
Well, everyone will be pleased to hear I'm true to my word, and I did phone them up, and I'll put the recording in now.
Welcome to Durrel Software. Please select 1 for sales.
There you are. So that's how you say it. That is their recorded voice at the beginning on their telephone, saying the word Durrel. So that's how you say it.
Durrel?
No, it's Durrel. Yeah, Durrel. I did very, very quickly have a look at Saboteur 2, which is, yes, as I mentioned in the first one, is the one I remember playing and the one I remember owning. And it's even harder than this one. I couldn't get anywhere on it. I couldn't kill a single person, and I never want to play it ever again. That's my review of Saboteur 2.
The music's great as well.
No, it's not.
It is. I loved it.
No, it really isn't.
Something like that. It's good.
No,
I liked it. And on the iPhone version, you can listen to the Commodore 64 version, and that music is not as good as the Spectrum one, in my opinion.
Well, now I know you're lying.
I know. Well, that's the way it is. So, what
Join
game?
us next week.
Yeah. as we ramble on, what do you think we should look at next time?
RoboCop, protect the innocent, uphold the law.
If you'd like to hear more of this, then please do encourage us by subscribing. That way you won't miss out on the next episode. If you're listening to us on your favourite podcast platform, please give us 5 stars. And if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below about what game we should look at next. Feel free to follow us on Twitter. You can drop us a line using @SpectrumDaysPod, find us on our website, spectrumdays.com, and you can email us at hello@spectrumdays.com. And you can friend us on Facebook by looking up Spectrum Days.